Zara. So today I'm going to be showing you a beginner's tutorial for this full glam look. So I know there's a lot of beginners out there in the makeup game and they might feel like there's too many steps to like doing your eyeshadow or your lips or contour and everything. It's really kind of confusing sometimes. So I'm going to try my best right now to show you guys how I achieve this full glam look for beginners. I hope you guys like it. But before we start with the video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, leave a comment down below of what you think about this video or what you want to see from me. I'm really excited about my channel and I really want to like bring you guys some valuable content that you guys are gonna love. Okay guys, so I'm gonna start off this tutorial. And first I'm gonna just like put my hair in a hairband so I can have some room to play around with my face. I'm gonna start my makeup with prepping my face. I have dry skin, so like my OG prep for my face would first be to moisturize my face. So what I would be using is the Pond's Dry Skin Rich Hydrating Facial Moisturizer. And what I would do is start off with that and put it all over my face. And because I have dry skin as well, and the next thing I do is use a primer. The primer that I'm going to be using is this Wet n Wild Photo Focus Face Primer, Dewy Luminous. So I use dewy again because I have dry skin. And what the primer does is it gives your foundation a solid base to work off of. But after that, I like to let my primer set into my face more, so I move on to my eyebrows. I just got my eyebrows done today, but what I really be using for my eyebrows is this is Morphe, like this is like an eyebrow pomade. So what I do is I brush my eyebrows out, and I don't have to like fill them in that much, but I kind of use the pomade to define them. So what I do is I start from the end. So I always start from the end because I have really thick eyebrows already.
And because I got them done, they're already kind of filled, because they're already done, they're already kind of shaped. So I just follow that. I don't do anything more than follow the outlines of my eyebrows and just define it a little bit more. And that's it. And I don't do too much in the front. I like it to look really natural.
And then yeah, to set my brows, I use the NYX brow glue. And yeah, just so that they stay in place and they don't move. The next thing I move on to is my eyelids. What I'm going to be using today, my L'Oreal Infallible Concealer. If you do have lash extensions, I take another brush and I use the bottom of it and I just kind of like get my lashes to be out the way. And then I'm looking down at my mirror and I just do like that. And then the same thing on this side, do like that. So after I do the dot of my concealer, I use a brush. This is a concealer brush, Deluxe Crease Brush. This is the brush by Real Techniques. Real Techniques has some really good brushes. Like they have a really good brush sets and they're really inexpensive too. So it's good to sometimes, you know, buy the brush sets because they all come with multiple essential brushes. So the eyeshadow palette that I'm going to be using today, I think that this is a good beginner's palette, especially if you just like natural looks and whatnot. I think that this is a great beginner's palette, the Juvia's Place Chocolates palette by Juvia's Place. This has a lot of like really neutral, natural colors. I've had it for a while and you know, like it has a lot of good colors and they're really high pigmented too. Sorry that it's so dirty, but yeah, they are really high pigmented. So of course you have to do your eyeshadow according to how you like it. Today I'm gonna kind of do like a darker look, so I'm gonna just go ahead and start doing like a quick like smoky eye. So the first thing I do whenever I'm doing this eyeshadow is I do my crease. So I always use like a crease brush. So I have this brush, like a narrow kind of stippled, I don't know how to explain this, but it looks like this. I believe that Real Techniques also has a brush that's like this. This is probably like a crease brush. So you really want to be able to like get into the crease but kind of be blending at the same time. So the color that I'm going to use, and this is the crease color. So you don't start with your crease, you don't start with the darkest color. You start with kind of like the middle ground color. So in this palette, the middle ground color would be that one. So I would start with this color. And that's like a more, I would say like a, I don't know what color this is, how to describe this color, but it's like a between, it would be a good color between the dark and the lighter brown. So this is like the middle color. And not shimmer, of course. So I'm just gonna use like a mirror right here. Okay, so I'm gonna start from the outer corner and I'm gonna just start working that in. So I can just go back and forth on the outer corner of my eye and bring it in. And you're just doing really light strokes. You don't have to do it too crazy. And whatever you do on this side, you have to do on this side. So I already did this side, so I want to go ahead and start doing this side. So I'm gonna go back, and you see how this side is lighter than that side, so we don't want that. So I'm gonna go ahead again and start blending and trying to make that crease warm, and really just blend it in. You're just going back and forth, but you want to have the intensity more on the outer corner instead of the inner corner. That was the warmth of the crease. Now what I'm gonna do is take my concealer again and cut my crease. Now the only reason I do this is because I feel like it comes out cleaner when I put the shimmer on it. Now you don't have to do this, but I do it just because it makes my eyeshadow look cleaner, because when I try to like just apply the other color on top of what I already did, it doesn't look that great. And I kind of carve out the shape I want to do. So I go, I just put the concealer wherever I want the next color that I'm going to be using on. And then I have to also do it on the other side. It doesn't have to be too neat, because of course the eyeshadow is going to go on top of it and cover up a lot of it, but yeah. So now, sorry if my lashes look crazy, but yeah. Now I'm going to use an eyeshadow brush. It's like a flat top, oval kind of top. And now I'm going to use a shimmer color. So I did say I was going to do a darker look. So in this palette, there's this shimmer dark brown. It's going to just be like taps. You see? It's just going to be taps. And then when I tap it, it's going to stick better than if I just go back and forth and sweep it on. I'm not going to sweep it on. You have to just tap it. Okay. I believe I got this crease brush from Morphe, but I don't know the name of it. This is what it looks. It's like a pencil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the darkest color, which I think is this one. And I'm going to create a V in my eyelid. So when I say a V, you're going to do V shape. So the V is going to kind of start here and then end there. So it's a darker look. This is the darkest color. So this is really where you want to intensify the smoky eye. So it's okay if you go super dark here, but you're just going back and forth in that V shape. And of course, you're using the tip of the brush to do that. And don't worry about being messy, because we're gonna clean up later everything. And you can just blend it, but I'm just trying to intensify that corner over there. And you just want to go right into the crease. You don't want to do too much all the way, you don't want to go all the way in, you just want to stay at the crease. At least that's how I do it. But yeah. So now I go back and I use my blending brush that I had, and I go back into that medium brown color, and I kind of blend everything in or out. I kind of blend it out because now I have the darker color. So now I'm gonna move on. Now that I'm done with my eyeshadow, I'm gonna move on to my face. So the face stuff, as I told you, I was waiting for my primer to set in, so now I think it's kind of better. So I'm gonna move on to my foundation. The foundation that I recommend for beginners is the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Velvety Matte Foundation, and I'm in the color Havana, I believe. Yeah. This is a full coverage foundation, so if you like full coverage, I do recommend this. If you don't like full coverage because you are a beginner, there are other drugstore products that you can use that are might be more sheer and less heavy on your face. And how I do it is I just put it on my finger and I just make dots all over my face like that. So next thing I'm gonna use is my concealer again. Now this concealer that I have, the Infallible Full Wear, this is a full wear foundation. So, I mean concealer. So it is also, just like I said with my foundation, it is kind of heavy on the face, but if you don't have to use a lot, like you can just use like a little dot, and that's what I literally do. I just make a dot there, make a dot there, make a line right there, because I want to clean up that I want to clean up my eyeshadow on that side, and make a little thing there, a little dot there, and then I make like a V here, and then I make a little swoop there. Now I'm gonna move on to my contour, and I also use an Infallible Full Wear concealer by L'Oreal, and this one is in the color Espresso. So gonna use this cream contour. So when I'm contouring my face, excuse me, I like to go from the highest point of my ear. So I look at my ear and then I go down like that, and then that's where I contour. So if I look at the top of my ear and I go down, it's gonna be right there. So I only use a little bit because it's really, as I said, this is a lot. So yeah, with my forehead, I only do 2 lines, like right here and right here. Now everybody's contour is different. So the way that you would contour your face might be different than how I contour mine, because everybody has a different shaped face. But this is how I do it. I would say I have like an oval, more heart-shaped face. So that's how I look at my face. So anyways, I also do my jawline, and I make a line like that, but I do it right on my jawline. And I don't use too much concealer, I only use a little bit. Now when I'm done with that, I go ahead and I take my concealer brush and I start spreading out that concealer with my concealer brush. And this helps me control where the concealer is going to be intensified, because of course I'm going to still blend it with my beauty blender. So what I'm going to do is use the stippling brush now. Before I blend it, I'm going to just stipple in to my skin. I'm using a blender brush to do this right now. This is a powder brush. This is like a ultimate blending brush. This is a blending brush. I'm just using that to blend into my hairline, but I am now baking my concealer with this Laura Mercier translucent powder. Now you can use translucent powder, but because my concealer was already kind of super light for my face, I just used translucent powder because I don't want to make it any more yellow, so I just use translucent powder. I use like a blusher kind of bronze color. So I have this Revolution Dynamic Face Palette in Midnight Sands, and I go in with this color here, and I get my blending brush and I go in like that with it, and then I kind of use it as like a blush slash bronzer, and I go in with that. And it's really pigmented, so you don't want to use too much. I feel like I used too much on this side. Definitely did. So I'm gonna go back in with the translucent powder again and kind of go over
that area again.
Then I try to use like a flat top powder brush. I got this also in a palette. And then I go in with my Fenty Beauty powder foundation, and I try to bring everything together. And then after that, I use my Great Lash by Maybelline mascara, and it looks like that. So I use this for my bottom lashes. So I use my pencil brush again, and I go back into that color from my Chocolates palette, and I think it was this one. And I go again, and then I go underneath, and I bring that in. I kind of like smoke it out on the bottom lash line. Now, I did not contour my nose, and there's a reason before that, because I did not want to use too much of that cream contour on my nose. So what I'm going to use is this e.l.f. bronzing palette and bronzer palette, and I'm going to just use this color right here. And I'm using like I don't remember what these are called, but it's a contour blender brush, and I just go in. It's a powder, by the way, and I do that. I just kind of place it on there, and then I use this brush that I got from Sigma. It is a 40 HD precision brush, and I use that to blend in to contour my nose. And when I'm contouring my nose, I always bring it into my eyelid. So I try to do that first, but you just want to blend. And I really like this because it is, as it says, a precision brush, so it's really precise and it doesn't mess up what I got going on already. So just blend it, and that's how I blend my nose. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to do my inner tear duct. So I have this Natasha Denona palette. It looks like that. It's in the color Ayana, and I'm going to use the shimmer color right here, this color, into my inner tear duct. And the brush that I'm going to use is this angled little small brush. I got this also in a palette that I got from, I think, TJ Maxx or something. So any small little tiny. So moving on now, I'm gonna be doing like an ombre look. So what I'm gonna be using to line my lips is a dark color called Unveil from Fenty Beauty. When I'm doing an ombre lip, I always line the outside of my lips first and dark, and then I fill it in with a lip gloss. So this is a matte lipstick, and I really like the applicator on this. It's like really great. And then I'm gonna be using this NYX Butter Gloss in the color Creme Brulee. for the middle of my lips. So when I'm all done with my makeup, I use my Tarte Cosmetics Maracuja Miracle Mist, and I just spray my whole face. So I'm gonna go do my hair and come back and show you guys like how it looks when it's all done.